And you notice I started recording after I said the wrong time. Yeah. Yeah.
How convenient.
How convenient. All right. It is 7:35 for this March 19, 2024 meeting of the Charter School Band Boosters uh, Inc. At this point, I'm calling the meeting to order. First order of business is to approve the minutes from the February 20 meeting. I move. Any seconds? Someone please second.
Can I
Second.
second if I typed them? All right. All
Probably
right, who's
not.
that, Rory? Rory, you
Yeah,
just seconded.
I did. Yes.
All right. Uh, that's carried. Why don't we move through our normal slate of business? Veronica, are you there?
Nice, I'm here.
Can you kick us off with an update on where we are with bank balances and budget in general?
Yes, absolutely. Hello, everyone. So for the month month to date, we are currently carrying a balance in the bank account of $8,195.27. I think we are about to wrap up our full count of the chocolate sales. We still have some money that I picked up this week. So we should be able to give you a final number by the next meeting in April. And I know that we are also wrapping up the SNAP race donations and we are expecting a check. So all of that information will be updated for you all again in our April meeting. Okay, that's all I have.
Great. Thank you. Christine, can you give us kind of a thumbnail sketch of where we are with fair share and any issues there?
Yes, so we're doing pretty good. After the last meeting, there was a number of payments that were made in various ways. So I accounted for all of those with maybe one or two exceptions. I just have to look back at a couple things and I'll email you, Veronica, if I'm wondering about a check or didn't see that. But yes, we're doing really good. Our totals for fair share, again, some of these are credits, so the numbers aren't exact, but credits related to a scholarship or something else. However, we have about 29,000 that came in over the course of the year, maybe a little bit less, like I said, with the scholarships. So in the mid to upper 20s that have come through in actual fair share fees. Payments for marching band are a big chunk of that, of course, and a lot of the jazz band fees have come in. I'm showing that we still are outstanding around 2,000 approximately of class fair shares mostly. There's a few outstanding other payments, but like for example, there's like only 6 jazz band fair shares still kind of waiting on to see when those can come in, and about 13 class fair shares, and we did really good so far. We only have about 5 beginning band fair shares that haven't been paid. So that's an approximation based on the totals where I have right now. And so I feel like we're doing really good, and I'll provide out another like written report because I'm still playing catch up on the emails, and I got them all caught up to date, and we'll provide a report to Stephanie and Mr. Cardona.
Great. I know we've instituted Zelle, and I know we wanted to keep the fair share payments coming in through the Charms platform for accounting reasons. But there were some payments I imagine that have come in through Zelle that have had to be applied in Charms. Has that been a massive burden, or has that been easy to this point, or do you not know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I can double check. I mean, I only saw one email that was a Zelle report, and there was only that was mostly other fees, like for the solo ensembles, all those sorts of other
Right.
fees. I think there was one fair share, and so I marked that one over in Charms, and as long as we keep track of it, the way the Zelle information came in, it seemed to be pretty good, so I didn't find it to be hard, but it was minor.
Great. Yeah, one sounds very manageable. So that's good. That's good news. I was worried about making the work double or triple there, and it sounds like my concern
Yep.
was unnecessary. Can someone update us on where we are with fundraisers? I don't know if that's Stephanie or David. What's still going
Sure.
on, what's wrapping up, and where we are?
Yeah, so chocolate unfortunately is still being sold. The children have stopped selling though, but just so you know, we have chocolate and we'll probably be pushing it at our final concerts and whatnot, possibly incorporating it into the proposed band room store. But Snap Raise is wrapped up. I guess we are still expecting the check. Um, which should be coming, pretty much any day now. And our final number was 10,767. Let me make sure that's correct. So yeah, okay for our first year. Our platform coordinator did recommend doing it as your first fundraiser of the year, when it's kind of hot and fresh for parents to contribute. So that is a suggestion. If we continue to try it again next year. I think the platform was successful, and a lot more manageable. I think if we just get after it a bit more at the right time, we can see some increase. So overall, at least we got up into the 5 figures.
So two questions. We should consider if we want to change the timing of it. And I don't know if there are drawbacks to that, but it would also ease some of the cash crunch in December that we experienced. So we can talk about that. That doesn't have to be tonight if we're not prepared to. But David, I wanted to ask you, the new platform promised that while they cost a little more, we would still net better than we did on the old platform. Did that turn out to be true, or was it right about even, or?
Well, it's hard to say. I do understand that at the end of the year, it's tough, especially when we've been gravitating towards a lot of online based platforms, right? We did the popcorn, and even though they're all a little bit different, we did sell the popcorn. We sold, what else did we sell?
Chocolate.
Yes. So we've done quite a few things outside of the chocolate, and so I feel like we tapped into that pool quite a few times. But we've always done Fan Angel later in the year. In fact, we used to always do it around the April time, maybe March. So we have done a fundraiser around this time. I think next year, since we're already planned on doing it, we'll give it one more try, maybe earlier in the fall, and we'll see if that yields better results. There's some local programs like Indian Ridge that brought in 30,000. There's some very small sports teams with, maybe like a little over a dozen members who raised close into the 40,000 number. So I want to give it a try in the fall and see if it really is significantly better, because they do take a larger cut. Also, I want to clarify for the minutes, we did have some other contributions outside of the platform. The total raised on Snap Raise was 12,946.
And as far as comparing that to the Fan Angel platform, did they beat it?
Yeah, so to be clear, about it was actually $2,270 came in outside the platform, which is good because that money, they don't take their portion out. That was actually donated through check or on Zelle. 2 years ago, the year we got back to normal, we brought in a little over $12,000 and net, by the way. And then we brought in last year a little over 10,000. So it is a little bit better.
Yeah.
As far as on the platform, it's about the same. But again, we'll give it a try earlier and see if it does work. We did see that it was definitely more user friendly.
Yeah, and I think the guarantee comes with more data input.
Yeah.
It shows, there's only like 50, I think our final 59% participation rate technically. So I think we just have to, now that we've lived it, we can go back and really sit with the kids and also try to educate the parents to help prepare a list, of those emails, because that really was the bulk of the donation still. So
Right.
yeah.
The benefit Fan Angel that we had is that we were already on the platform, so every year kids that had already done it would just
Mhm.
sign in, and all of their old contacts were already in there.
Right,
So hopefully next year we're kind of picking up where we left off, and we're just kind of getting the beginners on board.
right. But so it sounds like the feeling is that the new platform was better than the old, even though the dollar difference was only marginally better. Um, so we'll probably stick with that, as it sounds like. All right,
I think so.
all right. Let me just mention, for the benefit of those who don't know already, every May we have our annual meeting, and that includes the election of the officers. And we're going to have a couple of openings in officer positions. We always need more folks to join and help out. So I want to put this out there to any of you parents who are attending who are not already on the board. The board needs you. We need the involvement of parents. Frankly, I find it enjoyable. It's a good group of people. It's a good chance to be even that much more involved with your child's experience in the music program. So I encourage you to consider throwing your hat in the ring, letting us know you want to be on the board. We'll find a spot for you. Everybody's welcome. You can do that by contacting Mr. Cardona through email, by contacting the boosters through email. And I would read that. Oh, here I go. I have it. CSC Band Boosters at gmail.com. CSC Band Boosters at gmail.com. You can let us know, and we'll make sure that happens. Involvement is encouraged and welcome. And it seems like all the folks, other than two who had to leave us, unfortunately, are sticking around. So that's great. And we'll talk between now and May about seeing if we're going to have competing individuals for spots or a single slate. We'll know that between now and May. I think we discussed we wanted to make the April meeting in person. Is that still the consensus? Any thoughts?
I think it's a good idea to have it in person so that we can go over all of the roles and explain what's involved in it. And then they can make a decision so we can have the elections in May.
All right. Who wants to,
I think it's a good idea.
all right. All right. All right. So we'll do that. We'll have April in person. We'll have the elections in May. And before the elections, we will publish, I believe, a slate or names of competing individuals for spots. So when we do have the election in the May meeting, we can move through that quickly. David, is there anything I'm forgetting to mention about the upcoming elections?
No, I think you got all of it. Again, just really important that we have interested parents to help further this experience for all the kids. The board members do a lot outside of what we see at the performances, concerts, and even events here at school. They pick up a lot of the pieces with what you've seen more administratively and also organizing volunteers. And so any help we can get is really beneficial. And it makes a huge difference in the experience of our kids. The two band directors can't do it alone. And just having these board members present to help delegate a lot of these tasks and handle a lot of the admin side of the boosters is really beneficial. So if you're able to, or you're just kind of curious, you can ask me or any of the current board members, and we'll do our best to give you the best information.
All right, and then there's one more thing I want to add before I turn it over to David. Just a reminder, we are selling sponsorships of the band program. There's 3 tiers of sponsorship. Mr. Cardona has emailed out, I believe, the flyer describing the 3 tiers. I'm not targeting this at you. I'm targeting this at folks who may know. If you have family members with a business, if you're friendly with owners of a business, if you go to a business and you think they might like to advertise through the band program, please keep that in mind. Let us know. We'll gladly either provide you the materials to pass through, or we'll pick up the contact if you want to provide that to us and we'll make sure that they find out what they can do. One thing that I think is kind of neat that we're doing this year, we haven't done before, is the package includes those banners that you see on the fence when you drop off and pick up the kids. And there's only 3 or 4 banners up right now. So anyone who adds a banner gets some pretty high visibility. I don't think it's a big ticket for a business to have their banner up for a year, with parents sitting there waiting in that line, staring at it, letting the name of the business sink into their brain over and over. So that's kind of my pitch point when I put this out there to people who might do it. Just something to keep in mind. Hope to hear from folks that they have ideas of other folks who might want to sponsor. And so that, you know, the boosters are also reaching out within the community. I mentioned this in the meetings just to make sure that the parent community within the school knows that this opportunity is there. All right, David, do you want to catch us up on what's going on with the program and the events and everything?
Sure. Thank you, Jim. First off, we had high school attend MPA last week. Middle school will be attending their MPA tomorrow, along with high school state solo ensemble. We have 5 students that will be playing on the same day over in Palm Beach at Dreyfus School of the Arts. So tomorrow's a pretty busy day for us. And we close out the quarter on Thursday with our annual band day experience. So I highly encourage all members of band, beginning band, and all of the more experienced groups to attend band day. For those that don't know, it's an in-school field trip this Thursday, which is an early release day. The events take place from 7:30 in the morning to about 12 noon, and then we will feed the kids at 12 and let them go at 12:30, which is when they're usually dismissed on an early release day. High schoolers can leave at 12 if they want. They don't want to eat, just like they do at school. So during this day, we're going to expose the students to some of the other areas of our program that they don't get to see, especially beginning band. So they're going to get a slight glimpse of jazz band and also marching band. So we'll teach them a few songs, and then they'll get to play with the groups. And it's always a lot of fun. This year, we added some components to include drumline and also color guard. So they'll have their own personal sessions, and then they'll come in and join the full group at the end. It's also a good opportunity for beginners. Any beginners who are present will have the chance to work on pass-offs. And I will take those pass-offs into account for their quarter 3 grade. I'll take all those grades before they leave, and I'll be able to update those on Thursday. So please encourage all students to attend on band day. I know we have some juniors who will be heading out because they have their ring ceremony, but everybody else should be able to attend for the entirety of that day. Other than that, we all have our spring concerts coming up on April 30th. That's going to be middle school band. They will all be together. That's beginning band and honor band. On May 1st, we will have jazz band as well as guitar. And on May 2nd, the high school groups, symphonic band and wind ensemble. I also want to just start letting you know about, and I'll leave jazz brunch for the end. I'm not skipping it. I want to let you know about the banquets. We have 2 banquets. We used to have one, and last year we decided to split it, and we're going to do the same thing this year. And I want to explain what it is before we get confused, because one's for middle school only, and the other one's kind of for both groups. So on May 11th, which is a Saturday, we are going to have our middle school banquet. It will be here in the auditorium. If I had to make up a time right now, I'd say it'll be somewhere between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. We'll have an award ceremony where we recognize each member of middle school band, and we'll also recognize students that went above and beyond with various levels of awards that we give. And then we'll also have a dinner here in the band room. This event is usually ran by the high school band officers, the student officers. And the following week, we will have the high school band banquet. Now, the high school band banquet, middle schoolers can go to it, and they regularly do attend the high school band banquet. But this event is mainly for high school band, to recognize all high school band members, and also to recognize marching band and jazz band, which also includes some middle school members in both of those ensembles. So if you're a middle school student, you should attend the middle school banquet on the 11th. If you're also in marching band or jazz band, or you're in high school, then you should attend the banquet on the 18th. It's not a requirement, but again, it's just a day where we recognize the students for all of their hard work during the year. We'll also put out some information for parents who are interested. We usually only, because of limited seating, we only allow senior parents to attend the banquet on the 18th. So be on the lookout for some information to come out. Probably, I'd say mid-April, we'll start sending that out. I do want to talk about the Jazz Brunch and close it out with the Jazz Brunch. Jazz Brunch is our annual big event for the jazz band. You may have seen them at the fall and spring concerts. The Jazz Brunch is a little bit more special. It is an event catered just to raising money for the jazz program and also highlighting those students at a nice venue. So we will be changing it up this year. We've been doing Woodmont the past couple of years. We're going to go over to Maggiano's in Boca Raton. It's a little bit later this year. I don't remember the time. Was it, let me see. I think we're starting at 1 p.m. with the performance starting at 1 p.m. and we will end around 4 p.m. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. And
And what was the date again?
April 21st.
Yeah,
April
you're right about the time. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It's on April 21st. It is $30 a ticket for students and $40 a ticket for adults. Now, members of the jazz band do not need to get a ticket. They're covered, right? So all currently performing members of the band do not have to get tickets, but any parents, family, siblings, they would get tickets. And again, those are 40 for adults and 30 for anyone that's under 18. The Jazz Brunch, it involves the performance, which is roughly 45 minutes to an hour. We usually have a raffle, a lot of very good raffles. So I highly encourage you to stop by the ATM on the way there and make sure you have some cash ready to go. I'm sure we will have some other options for payment with PayPal and also Zelle, now that we have Zelle. But we're going to be doing the raffle. And we'll also recognize some members at the Jazz Brunch. And we will be, this year it's more of a lunch than the brunch, but we'll also be enjoying some great food that some of the booster members picked out for us. So if you want to have a great meal, enjoy jazz band performance in a great venue, I highly encourage you to attend the Jazz Brunch. And also, if you can just take a look at the sponsorship opportunities that Jim was talking about earlier, we're looking for businesses that want to sponsor the group. That means make a donation towards the ensemble or really the band program, or businesses that want to make an in-kind donation. That means they want to donate an experience at a local venue, or they want to donate a gift card or a barbecue grill, any item that we can raffle off for the event. This will help us a lot when it comes to breaking even, and then also, you know, paying back for the cost of having a jazz band, which is an after-school ensemble. So I hope to see you all on April 21st. We only have 75 tickets available. So make sure to fill out the form, which was included in the last newsletter, and also complete your payment. First 75 tickets go to people who have filled out the form and also completed their payment. Ms. Ayton, am I forgetting anything relevant that I should bring up?
I don't think so. It's busy, but I think that's everything.
Yep. Okay. Oh, and I will be sending out some Marching Band information soon, hopefully by the end of the week, so we can start registering for next season. You know what? Let me give you the dates. I do have the band camp dates for next year, and I'm already getting emails asking me about them. They're already on the calendar, by the way. Band camp will be July 22nd through August 2nd. No Friday, no Saturday and Sunday, right? So just Monday through Friday, both of those weeks. It's going to be back-to-back weeks. In the past, we've kind of split them. The first week will be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and the second week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And I'll send out all the registration and all the details, including some of the competition dates, which we already have on the calendar. Okay, Jim, I think that's it.
All right. Any further comments or items to discuss before I close out the meeting?
There
I
are
just
some questions in the chat too.
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Stephanie, why don't you go ahead and then I'll check out the chat.
Okay. I was just gonna say, Ellie reminded everybody to keep track of inputting your volunteer hours. parents. So with the school and tracking that, because Ellie also tracks that. So I think that's something she wanted to remind everybody. And that's through
Yes.
Power Schools. So
That's our
yeah,
school,
through
correct?
the-
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think the deadline is sometime in May, but we would like everybody to, go ahead in there. If you volunteered your time at any of the concerts or the events, or if you've done any donations, either supplies or monetary donations, you can go ahead and enter that in Power Schools. And we're targeting for everybody to do that by the end of April. That way, if we have any questions or anything else, we have enough time before the end of the year wraps up to get that all squared out. And it is required by the school, so make sure you do that.
It's better than paying. So for once, we're putting money in your pockets. And there was a question in the chat from Joyce Moberg about considering, based on the success levels of the different fundraising, changing the sequence of the fundraisers. We talked about that a little bit, and we're going to evaluate that for next year. That's a great idea. Thank you. Right. I don't see any other chats. If there's nothing else, I am going to adjourn the meeting. Thanks everyone for coming out. Thank you for your continued support. Remember to let us know if you're interested in joining the boosters and helping out some more. Thanks everyone.
And why would you not want to?
Right, exactly. Exactly.
You get your parent volunteer hours.
That's right. I'm going to open the virtual Scotch bottle now, but it's virtual.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
David, is there anything you wanted to cover before we drop off? I know you weren't here for the 6:30, but we just covered the stuff that we discussed, that we talked about.
No, I just wanted to know what were the positions that we know are going to be open,
Volunteer coordinator.
right?
And that was a position that last year a few people had asked to do. So I put that out first to the group who came to the 6:30. Sort of a you're here, so you get first shot. If someone wants to do that, and I asked them to contact me if they want to move into that slot. I would
Okay.
next, after a couple of days, I'll put that in the group chat. So for the folks who weren't at the meeting, could be, for example, some directors who are at large currently and want to move into that position, or the other position is assistant treasurer. And there we really should have somebody with a financial background.
Okay.
Ideally.
And just to make sure, the treasurer position, that one's not going to need to be filled next year?
Veronica, she's not here. But I had put in the group chat, didn't I, for anybody to let me know if they were going to be stepping down, and I did not hear from Veronica. So
Okay.
my assumption is what you just said is correct. But you know
Okay.
what? I'm going to send her a, well, what grade is Veronica's son?
He's a senior. So,
I'm going to send her a text.
Yeah.
Let me
so
confirm.
I just wanted to make sure, because that would be treasurer and assistant treasurer, and it would be ideal to start training someone very soon, because that's a complex role. Both of those are, but
My recollection is that Charmaine has a background in accounting,
okay.
so she may be a fit there. I'm going to text Veronica and find out if she's coming back, because
Okay.
she didn't contact me after the group chat. All right,
Sounds good.
that's it.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Zoe's not going to school in the morning because she's just gonna go straight there.
Sounds good.
Bye.
She can sleep in. Bye.
Bye.
All right, good night.